Everyone, good morning. It's 6 o'clock here on a Wednesday. We're halfway through the work week.
Woo!
I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. We're having a lot of fun on this Wednesday morning. And let's go ahead and send things over to meteorologist Thomas Patrick, because Thomas, we had a few showers yesterday, but nothing too bad. And honestly, I thought it was kind of a nice break.
It did.
Yeah, and that was the case in Spokane. I actually did some storm chasing with our own mobile storm tracker yesterday. Took our own friend Nicole Hernandez along with me. We got some good pictures of a thunderstorm that went near Cheney yesterday. It was flood advised for a little bit near the Rosalia area. So there was one good storm yesterday, but unless you weren't underneath that exact storm, really wasn't too bad overall. And today our storm chances are even lower, though it is looking quite cloudy out there in Coeur d'Alene. Our temperatures are just a shade cooler this morning compared to the last couple days. But as we move over Doppler radar, there is one cluster of thunderstorms that did move through the Silver Valley and over Wallace and Kellogg, and it is moving generally towards the south and west. So we are keeping tabs on that particular storm cell or cells. It looks like it might be 2 or 3 pockets of such through the morning hours here, as we will keep an eye on any activity that we see through the day. But it's mostly going to be an evening event tonight.
Well, happening right now, Nespelem School District is on a 2-hour delay. KREM 2 just got off the phone with the school district. They say they are experiencing a power outage. This is a developing story, and we'll keep you updated here on Up with KREM.
Well, the results are in this morning for Idaho's second statewide election this year.
Yeah, we are tracking 3 major levies on the ballot in Kootenai County, so let's take a look at the results. Up first, the Coeur d'Alene School District's levy passed with 63% in favor and 36% against, and this is with 100% of its precincts reporting. The district declared a financial emergency last month, but will likely rescind it because of the levy's approval.
In the meantime, in the Lakeland School District, the supplemental levy passed with 54% in favor and 45% against. And their maintenance levy also passed with 55% in favor and 44% against. Well, after a whirlwind one-day special session, Washington state lawmakers struck a deal on a new drug possession law.
So drugs were potentially going to be legalized this summer if legislators did not take action. Up with KREM's Nicole Hernandez is in the newsroom right now. And Nicole, many cities, including Spokane, passed their own ordinances in case the state law did not pass. And now that it has, what's their reaction?
So Tim, Channing, many mayors across the state that passed ordinances outlawing public drug use are saying it's not a perfect law, but it's progress. Governor Jay Inslee signed that bill, and it will now go into effect on July 1st. The new law emphasizes treatment first. Drug possession is now a gross misdemeanor and can mean up to 180 days in jail. That goes up to a year for a third offense. Local governments will still have a say on if they need to have needle exchange programs. The bill also allocated $44 million to expand treatment options that include housing, crisis centers, and methadone units. After the bill passed, Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward issued a statement. She said, quote, "This is what working together looks like. Spokane took a strong leadership role in setting that example. The local ordinance we pushed for as a community and the city council adopted looks a lot like what the state legislature passed," end quote. Now, once the new law goes into effect on July 1st, Spokane City Council will likely amend their ordinance so it closer resembles the state law. In the newsroom, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Today, the North Idaho College Board of Trustees is holding a special meeting. Now, this comes after police arrested a former NIC professor for attacking a board member. NIC tells us that Zachary Schallbetter allegedly walked into trustee Todd Banducci's office unannounced yesterday. Schallbetter verbally threatened Banducci and then threw a large bucket of liquid over his desk. Coeur d'Alene police arrested Schallbetter shortly after, and he was released from the Kootenai County Jail last night. Schallbetter now faces charges of battery and malicious injury to property. Tonight's board meeting is set to focus on board legal communications, so we don't know if yesterday's attack will be addressed, but that meeting starts at 5 p.m.
In just 2 weeks, the Garland district will put up flags in celebration of Pride Month. They will go up on 7 Avista-owned light poles along West Garland Avenue, but there might be a few places where a flag is missing. This week, the North Hill neighborhood voted in favor of putting up the pride flags, but businesses also have the choice to opt out if they don't want a flag in front of their building.
We did vote as a community, including with the business owners in May, to pass the motion as we did in April with the amendment. If anybody didn't want the flag directly in front of their business, we would honor that decision.
Neighborhood Chair Scott Webb says some of the businesses not in favor are worried the flags will affect foot traffic, but he wants everyone to feel included and respected. If a business does or does not want a flag, Webb says the owner can email him and will notify Avista.
Today, the nationwide fight over abortion pill access, is back in court. This time, a federal appeals court in New Orleans, Louisiana, is taking up the case of mifepristone. Anti-abortion activists are now asking the courts to pull the main drug used in medication abortions off the market. The hearing could put the case back on track to be heard in the Supreme Court. The case is the most substantial legal fight over abortion since Roe v. Wade was reversed by the Supreme Court last summer.
To another check of our weather forecast, where this morning not quite as warm to start the day as the last 2 days. Our temperatures are currently in the mid-50s as opposed to the 60s, but that's still plenty mild, especially for May standards. I know we've just been experiencing some more July-like weather that is not so akin to the season. But our thunderstorm chances continue to roll on. There's a cluster of storms that are moving through Shoshone County right now and just drifting towards the south and west. Looks like St. Mary's is getting a little bit of light rain at the moment, and you might be hearing some rumbles of thunder off to the east as well. But it's the only storm we're tracking right now, as at least everywhere in Washington is on the dry side at the moment. Temperatures held in check for one more day across Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, eastern Washington, North Idaho, but you see that summer heat still present across central Washington with temps well into the 80s today, and it'll be 80s and 90s for the rest of the week starting tomorrow.